Kathmandu metropolitan city, led by its mayor Balendra Shah, has intensified the demolition drive of illegal structures set up in front of a number of multiplex buildings and businesses operating in the underground parking lots. While those affected by the demolitions have protested Shah's move, social media users have praised him for the work. Good morning, I am Prarambha Dahal. Let's begin with the main stories. CPN-UML directs its committees to recommend candidates for November 20 elections by September 5. Ruling coalition yet to reach consensus on allocation of lower house seats. Bangladesh agrees to purchase 50 megawatts of electricity from Nepal to hold talks with India for the construction of a 25-kilometer-long dedicated transmission line. Russian President Vladimir Putin signs a decree to increase size of Russian armed forces, orders Russian military to increase its number of soldiers by 137,000 to a total of 1.15 million. And European giants Barcelona, Bayern Munich and Inter Milan placed in the same group in the UEFA Champions League. Defending champions Real Madrid face a relative ease in the earliest stage of the tournament. Main opposition CPN-UML has directed its party committees to recommend candidates for the upcoming provincial and parliamentary elections by the 5th of September. A Politburo meeting of the party has also decided 11 agendas for its central committee meeting, which is set to begin today. Party chairperson KP Sharma Oli is to present a political report at the Central Committee meeting, which will formulate the party's strategies for the upcoming provincial and parliamentary elections. It has been understood that Oli's political report is to include current national and international political affairs, activities of the ruling coalition, and UML's own preparations for the upcoming provincial and parliamentary elections. The report is also understood to include the impact of foreign involvement on Nepal's sovereignty. Chair Oli has also taken suggestions from other attending members. Addressing yesterday's meeting, Oli criticized the ruling alliance and also identified internal misunderstandings and differences as one of the reasons for the party's poor show at the local elections. Targeting the upcoming elections, UML has been holding several rounds of meetings at different ranks of the party. With its standing committee meeting held on the 23rd of August, UML has held its Politburo meeting yesterday, with the Central Committee meeting slated for today and tomorrow. The party has also called a meeting of the Election Deployment Committee on the 28th of August. 5 parties of the ruling coalition have remained firm on their claims for the 165 seats at the House of Representatives from the upcoming election. Based on the aspirations shared by the leaders at yesterday's meeting of the alliance, the total number of claims far exceed the available seats. Nepali Congress has claimed 100 seats, CPN Maoist Center demanded 60, CPN Unified Socialist has claimed 40, Janata Samajwadi Party 32, and Rashtriya Jana Morcha has demanded 2 seats. These claims are 69 seats more than the available seats at the lower house. The ruling coalition has therefore decided to hold further discussions regarding the basis for allocation of the seats. The meeting of the coalition leaders has also termed President Bidya Devi Bhandari's parley with the Chief of Army Staff on the citizenship bill as against her jurisdiction. Bangladesh has agreed to purchase 50 megawatts of electricity from Nepal and will use the Indian transmission line for this purpose. A decision has been made to reach an agreement with India regarding the use of their transmission line. The Indo-Bangladesh transmission line currently carries 1,150 megawatts of electricity and has the capacity of 1,200 megawatts of power. The 4th Energy Secretary level meeting between Nepal and Bangladesh, held in Kathmandu, has decided to reach a 3-party agreement for Nepal's electricity export to Bangladesh. Despite Bangladesh suffering an energy crisis, both Nepal and Bangladesh need India's approval to use its territory for energy trade. Bangladesh and Nepal have agreed to initiate efforts with India for the construction of a transmission line from Jhapas Anarmani to Thakurgaon of Bangladesh through Thakurganj and Islampur of India. Despite several efforts from the two nations for the construction of the 25-kilometer-long transmission line, the Indian side has yet to sit for talks. Despite the proposal of Bangladesh at the 18th SAARC summit held in Kathmandu 8 years ago for collaboration on regional power trade, the idea is yet to materialize. Meanwhile, Bangladeshi officials have informed that Bangladesh is to sign a purchase agreement with Indian company GMR for 500 megawatts of electricity produced from the Upper Karnali hydroelectricity project. It is now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Why has the government prioritized the expansion of external market for electricity? Your options are A. Less consumption at home, B. To generate foreign currency, and C. Compulsion to sell. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. In our Public Voice segment, we have asked the public what should be done to put an end to the trend of constructing buildings by violating the regulations. Let us now take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
सार्वजनिक ठाउँमा कुनै पनि टहराहरू घरहरू नबनाउनलाई उहाँहरूलाई सबभन्दा पहिले सूचना गर्नु पर्यो।
राज्यले जति बेला पनि यसलाई भत्काउन सक्छ भनेर त्यसमा जनचेतना हुनु जरुरी छ।
स्थानीय निकायले चाहिँ अलिकति नियमहरु चाहिँ अलि कसको साथ लागू गर्नुपर्छ।
मापदण्ड विपरीत बनिएका संरचनाहरूलाई चाहिँ कडाइको साथ कारबाही अगाडि बढाएर
Welcome back. It is now time for the sports news.
Sports news.
Team Nepal are to play Kenya in the second match of the 5-match 2020 international series today. Nepal lead the series 1-0 following yesterday's 5-wicket win. The match, which will be played at the Gymkhana Club ground in Nairobi, will begin at 3:45 p.m. Nepal time. With the full squad available for today's clash, visitors Nepal will be aiming to secure their second successive win, while hosts Kenya will be aiming to make a comeback after yesterday's sour defeat. Kenya were put to bat and posted 130 runs for the loss of 8 wickets in their 20 overs. In reply, Nepal chased the target with 4 balls to spare. And now, before we wrap up, here's a look into the top stories one more time. CPN-UML directs its committees to recommend candidates for November 20 elections by September 5. Ruling coalition yet to reach consensus on allocation of lower house seats. Bangladesh agrees to purchase 50 megawatts of electricity from Nepal to hold talks with India for construction of a 25-kilometer-long dedicated transmission line. Russian President Vladimir Putin signs a decree to increase size of Russian armed forces, orders Russian military to increase its number of soldiers by 137,000 to a total of 1.15 million. And European giants Barcelona, Bayern Munich and Inter Milan placed in the same group in the UEFA Champions League. Defending champions Real Madrid face a relative ease in the earliest stage of the tournament. That is all for the moment. Thank you for staying with us. Have a beautiful day ahead.